The 2K Sports pregame show.
The NBA season is in high gear, and we are so glad to have you here with us on 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson. My companions are Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Tonight, it'll be the San Antonio Spurs going up against the Indiana Pacers. For Indiana, they haven't forgotten the fact that this team swept them last year in the regular season. This is a game they had circled going in. Tonight, the fans getting a chance to enjoy watching Tony Parker, who came into the league as a speedster point guard, but now as a veteran, Kenny, he's evolved into just one of the best team leaders on the floor.
Unbelievable that he still has the same amount of speed at his age that he does now. I mean, and then the floater. He's probably the best in the last decade at shooting that shot.
Here in San Antonio, the Tower of the Americas stands 750 feet tall in the center of Hemisphere Park. We've got basketball action at the AT&T Center. We're in San Antonio, Texas, the home of the Spurs, live on 2K Sports. Well, the holidays always bring us some incredible... NBA action. That's certainly what we have in store for us today. I'm Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony and Doris Burke reporting from the sideline. It's out on the road tomorrow as the Spurs wrap up this home stretch. They've fallen behind the pack, but a chance here to reclaim some ground. It might be tough, but this is a team they're capable of beating.
And you know, for the Spurs, they have been one of the major surprises in the NBA this season. Unfortunately, for the wrong reasons.
And, you know, any fixes they've tried during the season have only compounded their problems.
Here's the starting group for the Indiana Pacers. The mayor is out there with Miller. Then there's Red Hot, and it's Rain Man, and it's Hibbert in at the 5, down low. Parker outside. Puts it up from 12, and it comes off the front of the rim.
And it's just hard to imagine the Spurs without Coach Popovich on the sidelines. He's the longest tenured coach in the NBA and has done so much for this team. Easily one of the best coaches in the history of our league.
For San Antonio, they've gone 0 of 3 from the field to start the game. Harper dishes to Parker. Here's the bodyguard. San Antonio again missing. Here's Rain Man, and he banks in the layup. Rain Man's got the opening bucket of the night here for the Pacers.
Defensively, that possession better not. Not start a trend because they just handed him 2 points.
Here's Parker. Banked in off the glass.
And boy, did they need that one. Their first make in the 5 field goal attempts they've had.
Pacers have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Here's the mayor. Traps in the tray.
good open look, and he splashes home the three.
Last outing for San Antonio, it was a loss to Los Angeles.
And hard to say whether it was the game plan defensively that let them down or just the inability to really bring the fire on that side of the ball.
And, guys, it was a bit befuddling to me as to why they stuck with it. I mean, they dug themselves a hole and couldn't find the tweaks they needed to get out of it.
And the shot is good. Now here's Parker. 9 points last game out. Shoots from the elbow. And it's Parker again missing.
His touch has disappeared on him this quarter. He just hasn't been able to get it going.
Pass to the main. Here's Rain Man, covered by Parker. Inside. Drops in the layup for 2. The Mayor's got 5.
They've got themselves in front with some outstanding shooting right off the bat.
It's been a complete technical dominant performance out here. They are in a zone. You know what? He's just stone cold right now. Really not sure if he's their best option offensively as they try to get back in this game.
That's good.
It seems that every pass they make is leading to a score here. I mean, that's just exquisite ball movement.
And that's because the ball is looking for the best shot, and it's really paid off for them during the run.
Here's the Mayor. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against Memphis.
And also defensively, guys, he kept them off balance with 4 steals on the night.
Boy, I tell you what, nice little run here they're going on.
And getting to the 10 has been the key. They're getting point-blank looks time and time again.
Spurs trail by 11. And first quarter, we're about 3.5 minutes in. Looking to end the run. And Tim Duncan gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul.
Yeah, a bit over eager right there. Left his feet too early.
Yeah, and if you're already boxed out like he was, just back up. Because if you don't, you're going to get called for the over-the-back foul every time.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen. I'll tell you what, the defenders didn't even get a sniff of him on that move to the hoop.
Looking at the last game for the Indiana Pacers, it was a loss to the Grizzlies in Memphis.
And with the number of turnovers they had in that game, guys, it was going to be an uphill battle all the way.
Especially when you couple the turnovers with the soft defense they were playing. That's a losing combination.
San Antonio with the ball after Indiana gets the 3. Parker kicks to Duncan for 3. That's good. Parker's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3.
The rapid-fire threes coming from everywhere.
Yeah, I'm not sure of the quality of that three-point shot attempt right there, going at it the way they did, but it all worked out for them. They're forcing the ball inside, and it's working beautifully.
It really is. 5 out of 6 of their last field goals have come from the paint.
And a look at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for the Pacers.
Guys, their penetration has been outstanding. I mean, it's actually been great. They're really finding those holes in the defense.
And also another aspect of their game that's been super so far tonight is how they've been sharing the basketball.
And here are the Pacers now after the basket by San Antonio. Artest the pass to Rain Man. Artest, good. Artest's got 7 points.
They are not rotating nearly quickly enough on defense down low. Got to get quicker there.
Just no resistance on the interior.
It's not really a surprise at this point, but the Spurs were in the playoffs last year. 18th consecutive appearance.
Yeah, they weren't in that usual top 3 spot, though. Although, had they won the last game instead of being the 6th, they would have been the 2nd.
Right. Didn't
have that home court advantage, and as they went up against the Clippers, it really cost them in that 7th game.
Spurs trail by 11. Here's the screen. Parker outside. It drops for a second made shot of this game. An unimpressive 2 of 7, though.
Those are starting to add up. Of their last 5 baskets, 3 of them have been three-pointers.
And clearly it's about how poorly the defense has played. They've got to close out faster.
Outside, Green. Here's Harper, and it's San Antonio with another.
And against the Clippers, the Spurs didn't have home court advantage. I mean, ended up playing a big part in that series. They ended up losing in Game 7 in Staples with some questionable timekeeping, but that's not why they lost.
Here's Rain Man after the basket by San Antonio. They shoot again. Tim Duncan grabs the miss.
Oh, nice play on D. Got that hand in the face and prevented him there from getting an easy look.
Exactly. Alert and aware. Really reacted quickly to that shot attempt.
Now here's Parker. He has 5. Another miss by Parker.
And that Spurs series sure didn't feel like a first-round matchup. I mean, you could have easily have seen either team playing for the title, regardless of who won the series. Both teams acknowledge that it felt like a conference finals matchup.
So it's San Antonio now, following the score by Indiana. Up and in on the way. Parker's got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
I'll tell you what, the post play has been rock solid right off the bat.
It really has, and they've created a lot of high-percentage shots in the paint here already.
These are the top distributors of the basketball for the last 10 games as shown on the 2K leaderboard. You take a look at the mayor, top 5 in the NBA, and his teammates love him.
Boy, he's really done a nice job of looking for his teammates and getting them the ball on time and in rhythm, and it's resulted in more open looks for his team, and that's all good.
Here's what San Antonio's going with right now. David West, he's checked in for Duncan. Gray comes in for Daniel Green. And it's Ginobili in for Tony Parker.
And, you know, guys, Manu Ginobili's relationship with Greg Popovich has been really interesting over the years. In the beginning, Pop obviously had a rigid system. Ginobili played with a lot more freestyle and free will in nature. The two clashed heavily early on, as one might expect.
Here's the great one. He's coming off a 10-point game against Memphis. And off target as he starts the game 0 for 1.
And that one gives them a +5 rebound advantage, Kevin.
Pretty clear they're dominating that area. They've come out with a lot more energy and effort so far.
Getting back to Ginobili and Popovich, everyone thought Popovich would break Ginobili of his reckless ways. But, in fact, you know this, it was the opposite.
You know, Pop recognized he had something special in Ginobili, and it ended up changing his own philosophy, which I think speaks to the greatness of Greg Popovich. I mean, he was quoted as saying, you know, he does things, Ginobili, that win games. It taught me to watch a little bit more and not be so micromanagement-like, and not sure Pop's ever said that about anybody else.
Boy, I tell you what, he does not look like your typical big man up there at the line. He has an excellent stroke and a percentage to match.
There's Red Hot. He's coming off a 10-point game against the Grizzlies in Memphis.
And also defensively, he was really aggressive. I mean, matter of fact, he had 4 steals over the course of that game.
Here's Ginobili after Indiana gets the 3. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. And for Manu Ginobili last season, not his best. Down in every measurable category since his rookie year. He's 37, myriad of injuries. You know, but Greg, there's still something so special about that play.
Yeah, I mean, so much of his game is about movement. And Kevin, after 13 full seasons and factoring all of the international competition, you're going to have to start to show some wear and tear, and that's been the case for Manu.
Excellent point. He played 4 pro years overseas before the end.
You know, guys, getting back to Ginobili, the most concerning part about last year centers around his shooting. Down in field goal, 3-point, and free throw percentage. Just could not find the mark all season long.
Now, here's Mills. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Again, the miss by the Spurs. Pacers leading by 7. Here's Red Hot. Here's Hill. And so he draws the foul on the shot. Now, trip to the line to shoot 2.
And looking forward for Ginobili, he may have to reshape his game a little bit. Less commotion overall to try and reduce turnovers. Maybe accepting more of a toned-down role versus the callous that he's really enjoyed over the course of his career.
Now here's Ginobili. He's coming off a 13-point game against the Clippers.
Yeah, and talk about his scoring. I mean, Kevin, with the defense trying to pressure him, he did a good job of getting them to overcommit and getting himself to the line.
You know, that part of the floor, guys, is more or less his real sweet spot, right in his wheelhouse.
And out of bounds as the Spurs gain possession.
Let's see where the Pacers are, Kevin, in terms of the NBA rankings right now. First in three-point field goal percentage. Second in field goal percentage. And they're also ranked number 2 in scoring points in transition. This is a team that really pushes the ball ahead and tries to score before the defense gets set.
And you look at their incredible three-point percentage. I mean, it's not just about their accuracy, but their execution using screens and creating those open looks. That's been key.
There's the bucket. Good.
And that's another assist for a team that is putting on a clinic on how to share the ball.
And I love the mentality that they've had. If a shot isn't there, they're not forcing it. They're moving it side to side until they finally get the one they want.
Here's Mills following the score by Indiana. And Ginobili now top of the key. One-on-one fast break. Here's Rayman. San Antonio with the rebound. And Diaw kicks to Ginobili. West at the elbow. Plenty of space. That falls. Nice lead that time for Manu Ginobili. And that's now 6 points for David West.
And for David West last season, the thought was he might increase his production with Paul George out, but the opposite happened. West suffered his lowest scoring output in a decade, only 12 points per game on 47% shooting. Rough showing for the former All-Star.
Lance Stephenson's checked in for Indiana. Here's the great one. No good. And San Antonio will go the other way with it.
Tell you what, they haven't wasted any time getting into the swing of things on the board.
And even this early, that's a good omen for the rest of the game. And you really got to admire Boris Diaw. I mean, he's found a way to kind of reform his game as he's gotten older. I mean, so different than when he was new to the league.
He hits both from the stripe. Diaw lost his athleticism and is a slower player than before. You could argue he's more productive now, though, part than ever.
Well, his game was always on the ground in my mind. He's highly skilled. He's much more cerebral on the floor than given credit. I mean, I think he is really a difficult matchup because he's crafty, he's tough, and he's experienced and skilled.
Here's Mills after Jordan Hill's bucket. Pick by West. Off the pick, and it's blocked. There's Red Hot, covered by Mills. Pass to the great one. And again, it's Indiana.
That's what I call a captivating move there. He absolutely incinerated the D with that one.
And here's Mills. He hasn't scored yet. That I'm sure will change.
Already his second foul. He's in danger of getting into serious foul trouble early in this game.
The Spurs have gone 6 of 8 from the free throw line tonight. Red Hot, he's checked in for Rain Man. And both free throws good for Mills. There's 21 seconds left here in the opening quarter. There's Red Hot. And they get some nice contributions from him on a nightly basis as he averages over 11 points a game. Pick up by Hill. Here's Red Hot. The shot is off. The first quarter all wrapped up, and it's been an exciting game so far. Pacers out in front. They're up by 3. Live from the AT&T Center in San Antonio, you're watching 2K Sports. And Spurs head coach Greg Popovich, very demanding. Throughout the years, he was hardest on his point guard, Tony Parker. And here's what Parker had to say.
My first 3-4 years, it was
even though it seems like that was a very long time ago now, To hear Tony Parker talk about it now, it still sounds very fresh to him.
Did he acknowledge, Kevin, that he cried?
It sounds like it, yeah.
The game made him cry. That's one of the things fans forget about with professional athletes. No matter how successful they get, players never forget that pain and frustration or those other emotions they've gone through to help get them to where they are.
Welcome back, folks. We have a close game here at the start of the second quarter of play. And let's quickly break down the game, guys, we have seen from Indiana. What do you think?
This is almost like a volleyball game when you watch just how many shots they blocked or altered.
Well, how about this? A lot of side out for them the way they swatted shots away. That's a volleyball term, by the way, folks.
Yeah. Or handball.
Or handball.
Yeah, either one or two. They're knocking a lot away.
Yeah.
And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor. All fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. On the floor for San Antonio, we've got Boris Diaw. Parker out there with Harper. Then it's Green, and it's the bodyguard in at the 5. And Duncan gets it to go in. Indiana leading. Miller outside. Shot clock at 6. Here's the Mayor. From outside, off the mark. Spurs have gone 2 or 3 from the field here to open the second quarter. Parker kicks to Green. And no good. Had a chance to take the lead. Pacers have gone 1 of 3 to start out the second quarter. Artest with the screen on Green. On the wing, Miller. Artest against Duncan. Here's the Mayor. No good from outside.
And for a long time now, Indiana has protected the rim. It's one of the core elements of their defense and why they are so strong on D every year.
And the shot is good. Indiana trailing here. Miller outside. Stevenson, a screen on Harper. Stevenson outside. Fires the 3. They get it again. Hibbert. That's tipped. Outside Harper. Baseline J on the way. Parker's shot is off.
His shot's just, it's not there right now. With his team leading, perhaps, let's focus on some other areas of the game. And the Spurs last season became the first franchise to hire a female assistant coach. A big step, not just for the Spurs, but really for all of the NBA.
Well, as Greg was just talking about, the assistant that was hired was Becky Hammond, a phenomenal player for a very long time in the WNBA. And you and I talked about this before. She was a perfect candidate to become the first full-time female assistant.
Yeah, I agree with you. And it might not seem like that big a deal to some, but this was a big-time barrier breaker that the Spurs pulled off.
There's the feed to Miller. To the inside. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
And checking out some numbers for Red Hot. How's the last month of basketball been for him? Averaging 12 points, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds. And to be honest, not quite the numbers you've come to expect from a player of his caliber.
Well, it's been a topsy-turvy stretch for him. But don't worry, team. He'll be back to beasting in no time.
Boris Diaw's checked in for Duncan.
And one bright note for the Pacers last season was the play of their bench. Adding Rodney Stuckey was a huge boost for them.
Well, that's inexcusable to throw a pass that far off the mark.
Rain Man checked in for Indiana. Here's Big Cat. He's guarded by Harper. And once again off the mark by Indiana. And Stuckey led the charge for the Pacers bench, Greg, as you were talking about. But all around the reserves, Clark were fantastic on the Pacers.
Yes, 3rd in the league at almost 41 points per game off the bench. 1st in the NBA in bench rebounding and top 10 in field goal percentage as a bench.
Goes up off the pick, and he comes off the screen and slams it through.
And really, he epitomizes what a point guard should be. His skill as a passer might actually be matched by that creativity he shows around the rim.
Well, judging by that jam, Greg, I'd say you're absolutely right.
Boy, that's a nice surge for them just when they needed it in a game that was so tight.
The pass to the main. Hibbert with the screen. Here's Big Cat, covered by Parker. Clock at 6. Big Cat, the pass to the main. And the call will go against Big Cat. That's his third foul of the game. Here's Parker. He's got 12. Dishes it to Diaw. Roy Hibbert with the rebound.
Yeah, but the hand in the face, it's critical that you contest his shots every time down the floor.
San Antonio's gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter. Harper with the ball. Last time out he had 13 points, and the call will be against Red Hot. That's his first foul.
And really just a great play to sacrifice his body and take the charge.
Heads up action there. Reading the play and then beating him to the spot. Well done.
There's a screen. There's the dish to Miller. Here's the Mayor. And he comes off the screen to bury the jump shot. The Mayor's got 16.
You can't afford to get him that kind of a look.
Well, you know, he came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you got to do a better job of fighting over and through that.
The bodyguard. Again, the miss by the Spurs. The Pacers shooting at 50% in a decent groove. Big Cat, the pass to the main. A three. They get it back. Spurs are gone 5 of 11 from the field since the beginning of the second quarter. And Parker, here we go. Another miss, and they've really hit a rough patch here. Miller, the pass to Raymond. There's the pick. Gets to the rim for 2 with the D all over him. Now it's a 4-point Pacer lead. Spurs shooting with 42% accuracy in the second quarter. Parker dishes to Green. Here's Diaw. Busts the J after the cagey pass fake. Diaw's got his first bucket of the night.
My, he is so adept at finishing in the low post.
Well, among the centers and power forwards of the NBA, these are the players with the softest touch around the bucket. Some terrific shooting percentages for the big men. In the third spot, Roy Hibbert.
And most of the guys on that list have that unique combination of power and finesse. I mean, a very physical presence with an equally soft touch.
Yeah, and you've got to have a mix of options if you're going to shoot a high percentage like these guys do. You've got to be able to establish good position, and then you've got to have a nice feel around the bucket with both hands.
Nice fadeaway to get over the top. And the Pacers lead by 4. Spurs have gone 6 of 13 so far from the field here in the second quarter. Here's Harper. Scored the basket. His fourth. He's only missed 1 of his 5 shots tonight.
Just such a well-rounded offensive player. He's got a little bit of everything.
Well, for Jordan Hill, something wonderful happened to him last season. The breakthrough he'd been waiting for in his 6th year.
Yeah, Kevin, you know, had to do, and I think correlated with him getting a chance to start games, and it blew up for him from there. Posted career-high averages across the board.
The Spurs have gone 7 of 16, shooting just under 50% here in the second quarter. It's stolen. Here's the Mayor. 16 points for him. Outside Hill. Pick up by Hill. 6 on the shot clock. Over to the wing. From the corner. He's now 1 for 2 with that bucket. Here is Harper. 9 points in the game so far. Diaw, the screen. Now Harper. The shot will not go.
Usually if he gets to the rim, he's converting it into points. But the defense stood tall there.
The Mayor passes to Big Cat. And it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line.
Yeah, he earned that one. I mean, taking the hit and still able to get that one to go down.
Incredible body control right there. Don't know how he was able to get that one to go. But it sure was a thing of beauty to watch.
David West, he's checked in for the Spurs. Mills comes in for Harper. Indiana leading by 7. Big Cat, the pass to Red Hot. Pick up by Hill to the paint. Here's Big Cat. An easy layup after coming off the pick. Big Cat's got 7 points for the quarter.
After going scoreless in the first, he's really found a way to turn it on here in the second quarter.
Ginobili gets to Diallo. Here's the great. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. San Antonio again missing. Pacers shooting 40% since the beginning of the second quarter. Master Red puts it up. And again, it's Indiana converting.
And that's sort of been the story here today, hasn't it?
You know, for the Pacers last season, with Paul George being out for most of the season, they knew it would be a struggle. They would go into lengthy dry spells that made it hard for them to keep pace in the East, in part because they missed Paul George's all-around brilliance and his offense.
And Indiana making a change here. Stevenson's checked in. Manu Ginobili on the wing. Passes it to the great to stop the run. And shot's good on the assist by Ginobili. The great's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. As for those dry spells you mentioned about the Pacers, G8, they had a number of long losing streaks last season.
Yeah. As a team, they had 4 different losing streaks of 6 or more games, and they got hot at the end. Season-high win streak of 6 to stay playoff relevant. It was just too little, too late compared to their losing streaks earlier in the year.
Now, here's Mills. West outside. A 3 ball. And again, it's San Antonio with a 3.
That's 2 straight quick 3-pointers they've allowed.
Defense just not reacting with enough aggressiveness.
Pick up by Hill. Here's Red Hot. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2.
And listen, San Antonio is an older team. Actually, the oldest in the league last season. And because of injuries and days off, they didn't get to feel that preferred starting 5 a lot last year.
Spurs only used their preferred lineup for less than half the season, but still strong campaign. 22 games played with the starting lineup of Parker, Green, Leonard, Duncan, and Splitter.
And, you know, the Spurs will go on to use 23 different starting lineups, Kevin. That would be the 5th most in the NBA.
I'd love to see them impose themselves a little more on the backboard. That's a great way to find confidence. Always a surefire way to get back in the game.
Well, guys, they need to do something to reduce this deficit. We'll see if that's the answer.
West kicks to Duncan. The 10-footer. The shot's good on the assist by West. 6 points for Tim Duncan.
And Kevin, they started the game shooting it so well. I'm surprised they haven't continued. They've got to get back to their strength.
Yeah, I mean, test the hot hand. You're exactly right. I say let those triples fly.
Lets it go from 11. And it's out of bounds to the Spurs as San Antonio retains possession. There's 42 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Pacers leading by 6. Pick up by Hill. In the corner, it's Stevenson. They grab their own miss. San Antonio's got the 3-point bug tonight. They've taken 15 shots outside the arc. 6 of 15. Screen by Duncan. Jumper off the screen. That's good from Ginobili on the assist by Mills. And that's now 9 points for Ginobili. There's Red Hot, covered by Mills. Red Hot. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
All the officials are all over that.
Clearly a foul. I mean, didn't give him any choice but to blow the whistle. I mean, you got to play without fouls.
He'll take his 3rd and 4th free throw shots at the game right here.
And with a percentage of 82, he's been one of their more dependable shooters from the line.
Guys, I like that this is a part of his game that has really been consistent this year.
Second free throw, no good. And here's Mills. And the first half comes to a close. We've got a close game going on here. Pacers lead by 5. And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Kevin, thank you. Roy, I know you have just a couple seconds, but in a nutshell, what's going to be your approach going into the second half?
So we're just going to make sure we keep them off the board and keep them out of transition.
Thank you, Roy. Kevin, over to you.
Thanks so much, Doris, and we'll step away briefly, but get you right back in there.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, this has been a good game here after one half. Everybody, welcome back to the halftime show. Ernie, for the Pacers, the first quarter was pretty even. At the end of the period, they held a 3-point lead. And Kenny, what'd you think about what we saw from Indiana?
They were clearly a better shooting team. Their play calling and execution were on point. It wasn't a dominant performance.
That does it for halftime as the game is just about set to get going again.
Well, both sides have assessed what they need to do over the break in halftime. We'll see now if one can pull out a way here in the third. The Mayor having a dominant impact in this game.
It's as if he can get to the rim any time he wants. And in that first half, he wanted to quite a bit.
And that's where his points were coming from. I mean, the defense has to do a much better job of challenging him at the rim.
Checking out the group of Frank Vogel to start the second half. Red Hatter's out there with Rain Man. And it's Miller, then there's the Mayor, and it's Hibbert in at the 5 spot. And there's a whistle. That goes on the bodyguard. That's his first foul. Here's the Mayor. Rebounded by the Spurs. Duncan's got his 5th rebound in this one.
Can't be any surprise to you that Tim Duncan, folks, last year became the leading rebounder of all active players, passed up Kevin Garnett for that honorable distinction. We're talking 15,000 rebounds total over 18 seasons.
Getting back to Duncan's rebounding, he's always had the great size and wingspan and timing, and he really positions himself well for those rebounds, but what seems to separate him is his quiet toughness. He'll never back down.
Yeah, it's hard. You know, he's not a guy that's going to yell or pump his fist. He's not going to flex his muscles to the crowd. He just silently assassinates you.
Well said. Yeah, you're right. You're so right.
Yeah, just used his strength there to get the post position without much fight from the defense.
Yeah, I think he's got to do a much better job next time of just bodying up. Get some muscle into him.
Parker outside. Here's Harper. Chance there to take the lead. Missing. Indiana leading. Here's Rayman. It's hauled in by Duncan. Duncan's got 6 rebounds here tonight. Parker outside. The 17-footer. No good from Duncan.
Yeah, good tough D there to get a hand up and force that miss.
That's example number 1 of why he is such a strong defensive player and why he has such a great defensive reputation.
Miller, the pass to the Mayor. And the Pacers can't get it to go.
And they're 1 of 4 here to start the second half.
The pass to the body.
All right, a moment to see the stats for Rain Man. The past month has been surreal. First in rebounding, second in scoring, and defensively, he controls the airspace like no other, ranking second in the league in blocks per game.
And, you know, just going back real quick to the fact that he rebounds so well, I mean, that's a tremendous feat. He's a monster in the paint.
Indiana didn't have a great record on the road last season. Only went Clark 15-26 on the year, and it cost them down the stretch.
It really did, Kevin. I mean, the Pacers had a bumpy year with all of the injuries, particularly with George being out for most of the year. And his absence was most noted in those tough road games, I think.
Duncan outside. Back to Green. Lock at 6. Feeds it to Parker for the lead. Count that one. Parker's got the lead up to 2 now for San Antonio.
You know, one aspect of their play today that's really been tight and far superior is their passing.
And that kind of flow can be elusive, but the great offenses have it, and that's just what they've shown here tonight.
And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Kevin, Greg Popovich was just going over the plan with his team. He told the team he wanted to run their offense through Parker. Coach is looking for him to take on a lot of responsibility when they've got the ball, to be a leader at the offensive end. Perhaps the rest of the second half will look different after those adjustments, Kevin.
Thanks, Doris. Well, the Spurs, Greg, great at home last year. That's not surprising to anyone who's paid attention. We expect that they're just so tough at home, year in and year out.
Hey, Kevin, how about going 33-8 at home last season? And despite being a 6 seed, only the Hawks and Warriors, the 2 best records in the league, won more games at home. Hard to imagine you could be a 6 seed with that kind of success.
Harper dishes to Green, and he floats in for the easy 2. Credit the assist on that one.
That kind of power move has become a trademark of his.
Pass to the main. Miller outside. They set the pick. Passes it to the main. 14 feet away. Shot is no good. That's the Spurs taking it the other way.
For the Spurs, it was all about being at home. That was a big part of how they went on the run. They won 20 of the last 22 games at home in that stretch, which vaulted them from the bottom of the playoff picture in the West to as high as the 2 seed.
Here's Harper, and it's good in the assist by Parker.
This looks like a pregame shoot-around with all the threes they're allowing.
I don't know. There might be more defense in the warm-ups. Right now, these are just shooting game shots. And the Spurs at home are so great because they just don't miss. I mean, second in field goal percentage at home, shooting 49%. Also second in three-point percentage made at home with over 39%. And that's how it's done. I mean, find that hole in the D and then go hard to the right.
Maybe that hole was a little bigger than it should have been.
Well, it was. I mean, a tight game like this one, you'd think they'd have a little more energy at the defensive end than that.
He is almost money when it comes to finishing in close. Nice bucket there to increase the lead.
The Mayor passes to Raymond. He kicks to Artest. San Antonio with the rebound. The bodyguard's got rebound number 7 for him tonight. Takes the 13-footer. Hibbert pulls it in.
You know what? You just cannot get much better of a look than that.
Exactly. I mean, no way you expect him to miss that shot.
And the pass to the Mayor. Fires the 3, and he gets it to go. The Mayor's got 19 points.
Watch out. Now that he's got his first 3 of the half, there might be more in store.
Plays it up and banks it in. And that's 13 points for the bodyguard.
He's got some serious momentum going right now. He's been great all day. Even last game, he was on fire.
Pass to Rainman. Hibbert with the screen. Rainman loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in. Rainman's got 13.
And that's why it's so important to really be a good screening team. You get a lot of open looks from it.
Screen by Duncan. Here's Harper. Here's Parker. And good work on the boards. They pick up the second chance points. Parker's got 9 points now in the quarter. Pacers trail by 4. Here's the Mayor. 19 points in the game. Pass to Raymond. Lets it go from 13. Parker with it. Parker double team. Duncan kicks to Parker. Out to the right wing. Sinks the three-pointer. And that's 15 points for Red Hot.
Right now, the defense needs to do a better job of closing out on this guy. He's heating up from outside.
The Mayor passes to Artest. To the middle. There's a good screen. Here's the Mayor. And Indiana, another three.
And he's just living out beyond the arc right now. What a weapon to have on the floor.
Especially now, Greg. I mean, this is a critical point in the game. His three-point shot really could end up turning the tide here and telling the story.
And Hibbert with the block. Here's the Mayor. 22 points for him. And it's Artest missing. Who has been a greater enigma than Roy Hibbert? A guy who can look like an all-star Clark one game and undrafted free agent the next.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing the kind of swings Roy has had. He's been really good at times. Sometimes he gets in his own way with overthinking things, but I think he's got everything he needs to be an upper-tier center, upper echelon center. Just has lacked consistency the last year or two. He's going to play his way right onto the bench and out of the game if he continues to shoot it like he has so far in this quarter.
Spurs passing it around. Here's the bodyguard. And that one's good. And now a 9-point Spurs lead.
And on the topic of Hibbert, he was an enigma in college. Had a very encouraging junior season. Looked like a future lottery pick. And then that uninspiring senior season, which kind of dropped his draft stock considerably.
Duncan kicks to Harper. Jacks up a three. And that comes off the assist by Duncan. Duncan's got 3 assists tonight.
And you know what? He's got a new BFF. It's the triple.
And it has been his BFF today anyway. Most of his points have been courtesy of the deep ball.
And some changes here for the Spurs. David West, he's checked in for Duncan. LeGray comes in for Green. And Ginobili in for Harper. Then for the Pacers, Jordan Hill, he's checked in for Hibbert. The great one comes in for Rain Man. And it's Red Hot in for the Mayor.
You know, going back to Hibbert, last season was a perfect example of what we're talking about in terms of consistency. One game he puts up 22 and 8, the next game 2 and 1. But you know, every team in the league would like to be in the Roy Hibbert game once the light finally goes on and stays on. Consistency the challenge for Hibbert.
Plenty of daylight on that shot. 15 points for Red Hot.
And he came off that screen, and the D just didn't get over the top of it.
Yep, weren't there in time enough to challenge Greg, and when that's the case, you can mark those up for him.
And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
A moment here to check out the numbers for Red Hot. His last 10 games, he's putting up 9 points a game, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. And you know, pretty terrific numbers across the board.
Yeah, so many books in his library. He lights up the scoreboard on a nightly basis. They've struggled against him in this one. Just no answer for the bodyguard. He has 9 rebounds. And he's picked up 6 points from behind the arc.
I love the rhythm his outside stroke has produced today.
Big Cat, he's checked in for Miller. And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blower. And what do you guys think so far about the offensive approach for the Spurs?
Well, their passing has been picturesque. A thing of beauty in both halves. More than a few of their baskets have come off assists.
And also, I think it's really led to the rhythm and confidence you've seen from long range tonight throughout the entire game.
And the second free throw, good. Spurs leading by 7. Parker outside, pass to West, and it's good in the assist by Parker. That's now 8 points for David West.
And every once in a while, he'll show up and give you some great moves around the hoop.
Let out the pass to Hill. High quality look, and he sinks it.
So far, going for more of an inside game here in this second half, and I like that. A little smash mouth basketball, taking it inside.
Here's the bodyguard. And that one comes up a bit short.
I guess even he has to miss one of those once in a while.
There's the pass to the great one. Kicks it to Hill. Solid play in the low block, and that one's good. Now just a 5-point Spurs lead.
And when the size advantage is as big as it was there, I mean, that's exactly what he's supposed to do in that situation.
Here's Parker. It's deflected, but he gets it back for the three, and that one's good. 6 points for the great.
He can be a forgotten man in their offense sometimes, but the D still has to keep an eye on him.
Hill, a screen on Parker. That out the pass to Hill. The basket drops, and he gets fouled on the shot. One free throw coming his way.
How about how he sets his man up there, runs him right into the screen, and then gets the basket.
Mills, who's checked in for San Antonio.
And so last season for Tony Parker, somewhat of a shift. I mean, he was solid, but injuries cost him a few games. He also had his lowest assist and points per game totals since his rookie year. But he fought through like the champion that he is.
No good from West.
And no excuse there for missing that one after being freed up by a great pick.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, they came away empty, but they got the look they wanted. And really, I like the movement and communication.
Plenty of daylight on that shot. And that's 12 points for Manu Ginobili.
It has been a three-point barrage for them since halftime.
Not sure if it's been by design or simply by accident, but either way, it has been impressive.
Pass to the great one. And the foul called on the great one. That's his first foul.
And really just a great play to sacrifice his body and take the charge.
Heads up action there. Reading the play and then beating him to the spot. Well done.
So it's San Antonio now. They've held a 12-point lead early. This their first chance this season playing the Pacers.
Yeah, and they swept this matchup the 2 times they played last year. They held the advantage on paper and on the court.
Yeah, exactly. An interconference matchup here. Not a lot of familiarity, but I wouldn't say they caught them off guard. There's a reason one team was in the playoffs and the other team was watching.
Passes it to Big Cat. Stolen. Mills. Shot is off. Shots continuing to fall as we conclude the third quarter. Both teams putting up points. It's San Antonio leading by 8. Live from the AT&T Center in San Antonio. You're watching 2K Sports. The fourth quarter just moments away now as we welcome you back. Spurs leading by 8. We've got the bodyguard. Duncan is out there with Green. And there's the great. And it's Harper in at the point. That's the San Antonio foul. The Spurs rebound. Now here's Duncan. He's tightly guarded. Here's the bodyguard. Hits it from three-point range. The bodyguard's got 10 points in just the second half.
One of the big stories is second chance point. They've just been terrific here in the second half in that area.
The feed to Miller. Down low. And it's Hibbert missing.
Yeah, but you have to love that tough interior defense.
And, Greg, that's exactly what he gives you. I mean, he's constantly making his presence felt around the rim.
Harper against Hibbert. Now the pass to the body. Drew on the 14-footer. The bodyguard's got 22.
I like the recognition of the mismatch there, immediately making the defense pay.
Pass to Redden. Some nice passing here by Indiana. Dishes it to Miller. Just 5 to shoot. From the high post. And he overshot that one, missing. Spurs leading by 13. Harper kicks to Duncan. Whoops, anticipated the pass. Turnover. Here's Rayman, and he jams it with authority.
How about the quick hands on the steal and the quick feet on the break?
Yeah, a careless, silly mistake there, though. I mean, coughing the ball up and then not being quick enough to get back on defense, that's costly.
Harper, the pass to the great. Pass to the body. Again, the Spurs good for two.
Despite the troubles he had in the first half, he stayed composed and focused, and now he's getting it going.
And there's the pass to Red Hot. He dishes it to Hibbert. Pass to Red Hot. A rebound by the Spurs. The Bodyguards got double-digit rebounds now in the game. Duncan, a screen. Here's Harper. And he gets the friendly spin, and that one drops. Harper's got 23.
And the D is having problems stopping the mid-range jumper. They're not really closing out on them as much as they should be.
6 of their last 10 points have come by way of the two-pointer. And guys, looking at Roy Hibbert, just a mountain of a man, listed these days at about 7'2", 290 pounds, with a wingspan of a pterodactyl. I mean, a true game changer inside when he's motivated and on his game.
Well, talking about Roy Hibbert, he doesn't just have size. He has a strong lower body, too. Very hard. And you know this, Clark. You worked for the organization. You saw it firsthand. Very hard to back that guy down in the post.
Yeah, and for years he's worked on ways to complement that size with improved training and footwork, even indulging in MMA one off season. I tell you what, he'd be one scary super heavyweight if he went the full distance in MMA.
Agreed. Spurs leading by 13, and Slim picks up the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Yeah, clearly he had an established position there.
Yeah, and I like this call because you want the refs in that situation. If there's any doubt, err on the side of giving the benefit of the doubt to the offensive player. That should have been a block, and it was.
Parker outside. Over in the corner, Green. Hibbert pulls it in. Hibbert's got 6 rebounds now in the game. Here's the Mayor. He's guarded by Harper. Got a hand on it. And now running it up the court. Green pushing it all the way. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Green. Pacers trail by 13. Miller outside. There's the pick. He feeds it to Stevenson. Here's the three. The shot is off. Now San Antonio takes it the other way. They've got the Timberwolves ahead of them next in Minneapolis. That'll be the first half of a 2-game trip. The Pacers have gone just 1 of 6 from the field to start the fourth quarter. A bit of a slowdown for them right now. Here's the Mayor, covered by Parker. Here's the Mayor. And off the front iron, and in it goes. The Mayor's got 24.
Kevin, he's been a bright spot in what's otherwise been a little bit of a struggle for this team.
Parker outside. Passes to the body. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. Roy Hibbert picks one up.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
Blatant contact. Straightforward call. Simple.
Shooting San Antonio. Taking 2 shots.
And he makes the first.
And in today's NBA, it's all about spacing on offense. It used to be more about finding matchups to exploit. Now it is all about opening up great looks by spreading the floor.
So he makes 1 of 2 as the second one misses. And with great spacing in the NBA, you need great shooting. More than ever, shooting and spacing, Clark, are at a premium in the NBA for teams.
Yeah, well, it starts with point guards being able to break down defenses and get into the lane to create open shots. You want to be able to create space for the point guards to drive, so you need shooters on the wing.
Parker kicks to Harper. Green, the screen. Down to 5 on the shot clock. The Spurs need to get a shot off here. There's the bodyguard. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker. Parker's got 10 assists here tonight. So active. Here's the Mayor, covered by Parker. Here's the Mayor, and that's going to be a travel.
Not doing them any favors with those kinds of errors.
Especially now, Greg, with every possession being so crucial.
Spurs leading by 12. Parker outside. Screen by Duncan. Parker dishes to Harper. And a miss there on the triple. For Indiana, they've gone 3 of 8 here in the fourth quarter. Here's Miller. No good, and tight defense there bothered that shot. Green, the pass to Harper. It's tipped. Here's the Mayor, covered by Parker. Here's the Mayor. Indiana again missing. For San Antonio, they've gone 5 of 10, 50% from the field. Outside, Green. The dish now to Duncan. Feeds to Parker. Shot clock at 5. Here's Harper. Another miss by Harper.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
It's Miller on the wing, covered by Duncan. Here's the Mayor. The shot is off. Good D by Parker. Spurs leading by 12. Here's Harper. Takes the assist and lays it in. Pick out the pass nicely. Harper's got 4 points this quarter. Pacers shooting in this fourth quarter pretty dire at 27%. Harper against Miller. Shot to stop the drought. Good. He hits the jump shot.
That's a nice drive there, Kevin. He beat the lone defender and was wide open under the hoop.
Spurs have gone 6 of 12 from the field here in the fourth and even 50%. Has something for us right now. Doris?
Kevin, Greg Popovich was just going over the plan with his team. He was propping his guys up for their defensive pressure, saying, listen, the pressure you put on them has been fantastic. Keep pestering them, keep forcing turnovers, and we'll be in a great position to win this thing.
All right, Doris, thank you very much. And there's the pass to the Mayor. Duncan with the block.
It's a +5 advantage for them in the rebounding category after that board.
Very steady with their work on the interior. Really a well-rounded effort overall.
And stolen by Miller. Pass to the Mayor. He kicks to Hibbert. To the wing right side. Here's the Mayor. Tim Duncan grabs the miss. Duncan's got 9 rebounds in the game. Getting it done. And count it, the shot is good. He'll go to the free throw line.
Not fazed at all by having a bigger defender on him down low. And I really thought he would be.
You know, at first glance, you wouldn't think that he'd be comfortable in that particular situation. But, boy, I tell you what, he didn't look like he was out of his element at all right there.
And Tony Parker, at least some of his success can be attributed to playing with talented bigs. I mean, in his rookie season, he plays with both the Admiral and Tim Duncan. He kept that partnership going with Duncan for several more championships. So while talented, he's also been very fortunate.
Artest. And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3.
When you can make adjustments to the shot in midair and midstream and still knock it down, you know you're flowing.
Well, talking about Parker and the bigs, Tony benefited from their presence, Clark, but they also benefited from his play.
Really, early in their careers, the only way to defend Parker and Duncan was to pack the lane, and once Tony developed a consistent jump shot, the only way to defend them was to hope and pray.
Right. Ginobili kicks to Parker. Pass to Duncan. Green, the screen. Passes it to the body. Hibbert pulls it in. Hibbert's got 9 rebounds now tonight. Floats one up. Good D by Parker.
And that'll increase their rebound advantage. They've definitely been winning that battle on the board.
You know what? No rebounds, no rings, and they've controlled the boards, and that's what's given them control of this game.
Outside, Ginobili. The shot misses. So the Pacers will take it the other way. Here's the Mayor. He's covered by Ginobili. Here's Rain Man. Good on the shot, and that shaves the lead to single digits. Rain Man's got 5 points now in the quarter. San Antonio leading by 9. Duncan outside. Green, the screen. Parker passes to the body. Shot clock at 6. Off the pick. He dinks the ring with a 2-handed slam.
And did you see the screen that was set for him? I mean, that was how he got to the hoop.
It was the classic screenplay. It won't show up in the box score, but that screen deserves an assist.
Absolutely, Kevin. I mean, that took the defender right out of the play.
Miller dishes to Hibbert to the left wing. Here's the Mayor. And the 3 off target.
It just hasn't been a very good day for him, guys. They need him to start burying some of those.
Off target from outside. Pacers trail by 11. Kicks it to Miller. 1:33 left here in the fourth quarter. And down it goes. Dunk through off a wonderful assist.
And that's the kind of lead pass we've come to expect from him.
The bodyguard.
And you know what? You allow a guy to get right to the rim like that, that's your only option.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, free throws are always better than a layup, so I'd agree with you there, Greg.
He drops the first one, and it'll push the lead to double digits.
He's been to the line here more than in the first. I thought he was a bit tentative in that first, but I like the aggressiveness he's showing here now.
Cannot convert on the second. That misses. Here's our test. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
It's been a nice game for Red Hot. 16 points, and he produced 6 points from the free throw line. That's nice work.
And Clark, it'll definitely help their cause.
You really have to like the work they put in at the free throw line here in the half. I mean, they've been really aggressive in drawing fouls, and then they've been able to knock down their free throws.
Good on both. 1:19 left in the fourth quarter. Here's the Mayor. Up and in on the way. The Mayor's got 12 points in just the second half. Spurs leading by 6. Here's the bodyguard. Screen by Duncan. The feed to Ginobili. Fires the 3. It's hauled in by Artest.
Sometimes it's more about what the defense is doing on that possession. They were all over him on the ground.
Here's the Mayor. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the strike for 2. That one on Parker. And as usual, he's the one directing traffic out there, guys.
You guys, he always has such a firm grasp of exactly what the game plan is. He's always talking, making sure that all 5 guys are on the same page.
In. 2 from the line that time.
Nice work there. This is a point in the game where if you get a chance to close the gap, you've got to make the most of it.
To the inside, the bodyguard, and it's good on the assist by Parker. 32 points for the bodyguard.
And really just led him to his sweet spot for that finish.
There's 39 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Miller, no up. Stolen by Archest.
No time to spare. They need a bucket.
Without question. Then maybe a steal or a foul to get the clock stopped as well.
And so they choose to intentionally foul.
Tremendous output from Parker. He's got 24 points and a dozen assists. This is some performance we're witnessing out of him.
My man, a night to remember. No doubt about it.
Good on the first, and that puts them up by 5. Second one is good. Getting both at the line, and it's a 6-point ball game.
Good work at the line to stretch that lead out a little bit.
Here's Rain Man. It falls! What a beautiful shot to bring him to within 3.
The D just sagged off just enough and no hesitation on his part.
5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Here's the bodyguard. Just 5 on the clock. Screen by Duncan. Here's the bodyguard. Yes!
Just no let up, guys. They just keep coming at you.
Well, this lead is too big to overcome. I'm going out on the limb right now. There's just not enough time left on the clock to make up the ground they have to make up.
Timeout called the Pacers. They're trailing by 5. 7 seconds left in the fourth quarter. The mayor and the officials